To start off here, we had changed some doors in the summertime on this vehicle because the bottoms were all rusted out. And if we take a look at the sticker on the door, the date of manufacturer here is showing that it's a 93. Now there's a couple things to note, or some differences that are between the 93 and this is like a 96, 97 model, I think. This here's our old door. I believe one of them white tabs on the driver's door was right here. You had to remove that in order to get, again, that white pin that goes in the hole there. This one is actually loose because instead of being a hole, it was a slot that had that white tab in there. When I'm talking about that white tab, this is what was in there. So it went in there, and this is what the screw goes into. So you have to remove this, but as you see, it's the width of that, it's a bit of an oval instead of a round hole. And now in that location, one of our white clips has to go in there to hold the panel right here. Well, it's loose now because that hole is probably too large and oblong for the fastener to work. That fastener is in about this location in here somewhere, and I don't know if you can see that, but basically it's not holding it in because of that problem. Down lower on the door here, it's missing this hole on the 93 door. So here's that hole there. Not a big deal. Just had to measure, locate that hole, drill it, so then we can use our white clip that'll go in there to hold the panel on. The other problem here is this bracket. This is different on this door than the other one, and I'll show you on the passenger door kind of what we're dealing with here. Okay, so on the passenger door, this is the bracket that I transferred from the old door onto this one here. And here was the one that was on there. So this is the one that was on the door. We drilled that out. You can see where the hole was right there for it. We drilled this one out, removed it, got the other one, and then we had to play around with it to make it fit. We just had to find where this wanted to be, and then I just tack welded in place. And then now it's good. So there's one fastener here for the panel, and the other fasteners right in here by the door handle. Those are the only two fasteners on the rear door for the panel for this one. So a couple things to take note of if you end up getting doors from an older Jeep and you're transferring them to a newer, I don't know what the year cutoff is, could be 95, 96. Just an interesting thing I came across that I'd share with you here while I'm changing the doors on this Jeep. We're reassembling these back windows in this door here, and what I found you need to do is you need to put this large window in first and kind of tilt it on an angle here, because we're going to be feeding the corner window in right about there, and we need that little bit of space. Also, I removed this black strip on the bottom to make it easier. Now up top in about here is going to be a screw, so we're going to bring it in like this, and then we're going to angle the top into the corner, and then we'll put that screw in, and then right where that hole is there should be the bottom fastener for the corner window. So this is it started here, and this is the piece that we're talking about that's going to come in through here. That's what you're going to start with, and you're going to angle it in and get that in, and now we've got that positioned like this. When we're looking at the outside here, this is your weather stripping in here. So as we've got it angled in, we want to angle and drive that in behind here. This lip goes over top of this. This felt gets tucked inside here. I've already got the old felt in, and I'm going to be using this one that's attached to the window too, so it's going to get the double felt in there. You'll feed the felt into the channel as you're taking the top and you're driving it into the corner here. And then there's this little tang here, and then there's going to be one screw. Once you get this into position, there's going to be that screw that holds it up into here, and then this bottom one here, that's going to fasten into there. So the reason we're doing this is you can't get that back window in if the corner window's in place. You have to remove the corner window to change the back window. So we've got that installed now, and you want to make sure that the rubber seal all the way around is going in, and especially down in the corner here. So once you get down into that corner, this has kind of got to get fed down in behind this seal here. Right in there is where the screw is that fastens it to the top. So you've got to put that in there. You'll also see over here is where that the next rubber seal has to fit in behind there. on both sides when you're putting that in. The same as what it was for down here. This seal had to push in behind here and line up, and also this too. So you got to be careful that this doesn't fold on you when you're trying to put it in. Again, on the inside here, you want to make sure that this is starting into the lip and it all the way top and around is all good, along with that felt that goes in behind here. Make sure that's inside the channel, I guess. In the door is where it goes. I think that's probably more for vibration than anything else, because you've only got 2 fasteners here. This fastener here, so you've got that one at the bottom, and again you've got that one up the top there. The next thing to do is we're going to take this rubber seal here and we're going to put that into our channel all the way down. Then we can install our window and then run it up to the top, and once that's run up to the top, then we can take our bottom guide channel in here, and then that'll get installed, and that's where it guides the window as it goes all the way down. So here's where you're going to guide that into the corner, because it's got to go in behind there. So you start off with that corner, and then you can start putting it into the track here, and then again along the top, and then finish this all up in here. Here it is here. We shove that window up. We've already, before we started doing all this, we already set this track in this location so that we can access these nuts here. Once we've installed that window, we just line up the track. So you've got one here, you got the other one there, you tighten that up. You've got this remaining weather stripping hanging down in here. And so all we got to do is just install this piece. So that piece will go in like so. It probably connects into about there, and then that'll be our hole there to where that screws into. Last thing we do is we just put this strip back on here that we took off because it was easier to get our components in. We've installed our runner here with that guide strip that goes in there with the felt to help with the window as it goes down. That's all good. You might find after you've done everything, you want to try and run that window up and down. And if you have any problems, you may have to loosen this bolt here and then move the bottom corner window over. So basically it's not square, right? So the bottom of the window is wider than the top. So as it gets up to the very top, what happens is it might want to catch or stall or struggle to get closed to the very top there, the last couple inches. And you might need to loosen that off, take that and move it over more to free it up so it'll close all the way. Once you've done that, run it up and down, it should work good. And then we just got to put this panel back on. Here's the finished result here. And again, what I've done is I've switched over my screws to an Allen head 1/4 inch bolt here and behind that little plate there. Hopefully that's going to hold the panel on a little better. In this case, because I had to change out the that little bracket, that metal that it bolts into, I welded a nut on the back there, and then that one there, you could just tap it out to a 1/4 inch, and there should be enough metal into the handle that you get away with that. Here's the 1/4 inch Allen head bolt that we're using in there, and the reason that I'm using this is because it's got to be small enough to fit into the holes and secure it. And in some cases I would have liked to have used a washer, but it won't allow you to do that because you need the clearance, the wiggle room to be able to get the panel on. And then see, if you look in there, you see how it's kind of shoved over to the one side. That's why a washer won't work in there. So all said and done, I think it turned out pretty good. We'll move on to the next thing.